Alright, I know what you're thinking. This is all kinds of wrong. Hear me out though. While I figure out what I want to do with this cab, I'd like to do something with this cap. So I'm trying to do something that is completely non-destructive, not hacking into anything, altering the cab in any way, and still would allow me to play something in this cabinet. And this idea came to me. There are these games, and I'll put a link in the description, where a guy has remade some classic vector games to run on a PC in color, and they're not just the original games, they're modifications on the original games. And I mean, they're made to run in 1024 by 768, and I believe it was back in the XP operating system. This is my laptop running Windows 10 with a 17-inch monitor, which is 1920 by 1080. So this is my absolute first try of hooking all this up. I've been working on the individual pieces, and now that I got all the pieces together, this is literally my first try at setting this up. So first I'll go over what I've got in here. First, obviously, I've got a laptop that doesn't fit, and the screen is part folded, and that's just, you know, that's what I have. I don't have a small VGA CRT to pop in there, which is what I like to do. With the room, I think I measured it something like 11 3/4 inches maybe in height, so really limited to what'll fit in there. So this is just temporary because this is also the laptop that I have these games on. Now, I've been watching these games for a while. He does a version of Omega Race. That's the one I first found on the web years and years ago. And I believe I sent a request to be able to remap the keys so you can use it in an arcade cabinet, if I remember right. And so now he's got an option in there to reset controls. So I think that's partly due to me, but not positive. That was a long time ago. I think the Omega Race game, I think his first one was 2006, and then I think the current one is like 2009. Anyway, this is Space Rocks, which is, you know, and the Asteroids. Not clone, again, it's an Asteroids type game, and it uses the Asteroids 5-button layout. And Omega Race uses a spinner, thrust, and fire. So his version uses keys, so that can, instead of a spinner, you can do left and right, and then a fire. And he's got Zector, TAC-SCAN, and some others, and I think most of them I can run with this panel configuration. So we'll start with that. What I've done, I've got the original Asteroids Deluxe Cabaret control panel wiring harness in here that had just one broken connector that I had to replace for one button. Otherwise, it works. And what I've done is I have wired it to a Pro Micro, an Arduino Pro Micro, which is right in this 3D printed box with a couple tabs so I can screw mount it if I so desire. It just connects to the PC with a mini USB plug. And then I've got DuPont connectors coming off of the pins from the Pro Micro that I then soldered to some colored wire that matches the original Atari colored wire, which I didn't need to do, but I had it, so I did it. And that runs up to the control panel. These also run up to the control panel. So what I've got there is I've got the 7 buttons on the control panel, the 5 control buttons, and the player 1 and player 2 start go into that box. And then this ground wire is the control panel ground, so this would normally be daisy chained to, say, the coin door, and then down to a field ground in the cabinet so that the metal parts that you touch are grounded so you don't get a shock from the arcade game if there's some voltage that's going through to the metal parts. This is for the Volcano buttons, the lit start buttons. There's 2 grounds, 1 for each button, and this would be 5 volts with a 220 ohm resistor on it to bring the voltage down to the level that the Volcano buttons use to light up. So this, I can just put a pin on it for a Molex connector used in a PC and pull 5 volts and ground from the PC that I would put in to run this, because I wouldn't run a laptop, I'd run a PC and then some kind of, I'd love to get a CRT because it'd be nice and bright, but that's what these unhooked wires are for. And then I've got these mapped on the Pro Micro as just the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then his game lets you change the controls, and so I've set just in this game those controls to left, right, shield, thrust, and fire. I didn't see start, so what I might have to do is reprogram the Pro Micro so that this key is start, which I believe would be enter, and maybe this would be escape, which would be to back out to the menu. I haven't thought that far, but it's easy just to change the code and reflash the Pro Micro. So the next thing we'll go to is the speaker. Now the speaker, I have the original speaker for the cab, but the foam piece between the speaker cone and the outer casing is rotted all the way around, so I bought a $10 shielded 4 ohm speaker from Arcade Shop. It can handle 200 watts, so it's way more powerful than the original one was, which, you know, there's some discussion about replacing speakers in games. Every speaker is going to sound different, so unless you know all the specifics of the original speaker, you know, it's never going to sound exactly the same, so I'm hoping this sounds okay. I've also got a reproduction one, or a different 6x9 in my Asteroids Deluxe that I'm keeping. And I believe I got that from another friend, to local collector had that, and it's again, it's not an original, it's a 6x9 inexpensive speaker, and it sounds fine to me, so hopefully this one will too, running through the actual game hardware. So what I've done there is the speaker, I made wires for the positive and negative, and you'll see that there are 4 wires because they then go into this. This is an audio amplifier that I bought off of Amazon, and it has left and right, positive and negative. So I've just got left and right, positive and negative coming out of here. And then when they get to the speaker connector, I've combined left and right positive and left and right negative so that the mono speaker gets both channels, so you're not missing a channel. There's a 3.5mm audio plug that goes to the laptop here. It gets the sound from the laptop. And this is powered by 5 volts, which I have going into this. And this is not a sponsored video. This is just showing the parts I used. This is a cool thing I got from Radio Shack. It's got several different voltages that you can come out of this power supply. So you just put the switch on whichever voltage you want for whatever it is you're powering. For example, I've got a label maker. that uses 9 volts, so I just slide the thing to 9 volts and it provides 9 volts, and then it's got this barrel tip where this plugs in, and it's got 2 prongs, one's positive, one's negative, so you can buy different barrel tips. This one is a barrel tip that ends with just 2 tinned bare wires. You can buy connectors for different power supplies, the round barrel connectors. You can buy, I've got one that's a USB plug, so I can set the power supply to 5 volts, put a USB plug on the end, and power something that normally is powered from a computer by powering it on the desk using this, so it's kind of a cool thing. But that's where the power is coming from the audio, the signal is coming from the PC, and left and right channels are going out to the speaker. And that's about it. So I've got sound hooked up. I haven't mounted the speaker. That's the one that's going in the cabinet. I haven't mounted it because I still have some woodwork to do. And it's a fairly deep speaker, and so I'd rather not have it in the way while I'm doing woodwork, and then put it in when the woodwork is done. So yeah, controls, sound, like I said, I haven't currently provided a solution to power the buttons because that would normally come from a PC. And then I've, just for this game, programmed these buttons to be able to control the game. So I think I might stop this video and get my tripod out and set up the tripod, and then start a game for the first time and see what it does. Alright, I think that'll work. Okay, so let's give this a try. Mouse pointer is visible. Get it off the screen there. Yeah, press escape to return. Currently the only way I have to do that is with the escape button. It doesn't let you reassign that, just the controls. So that's a bit of an issue, but like I said, I could make 1 player start escape or 2 players start escape. There's different options he's got in the game, but you can look that up yourself. Mainly I'm just interested in, will it actually play the game in this configuration? So let's go back and okay. Trying to see if, yeah, you can't even move in the settings with these keys. So you're not going to be able to actually do full game control, although you can put it on a game using a Bluetooth keyboard and then have the controls to play the game, but it looks like it's not 100% cabinet friendly. Also, oh yeah, I just noticed, now that I'm looking at it, TARDIS.dk, that's the website of the person who has programmed this game and the other versions of the vector games that he's updated. So, start a game and see what happens. Seems like there's some sound issues. Or it might just be that try cranking it up here. I think that's up. Well, it definitely works. That's cool. some more audio going on. There we go. Hey, just because I work on arcade games doesn't mean I'm any good at them. So, there we go. That's actually works very nice. Not sure if the explosion sounds are something going on with the audio or if that's just how they are. Oh! And there's an Asteroids Deluxe twist with that guy that comes out. Hey, that's cool. Alright, so, oops, escape, yes, no, yeah, that's not very cabinet friendly. Yeah, okay. I've only got 2 installed. Shut up, antivirus. Oh, let's see. Alright. Can this one go full screen? And this one's not F1 for full screen. Okay. Oops. Okay. Alright, control on this is a little bit crazy. I'm so used to playing this with a real cabinet. Crazy acceleration here. Alright, that's difficult. Okay, well, you get the idea there. It kind of works. It doesn't look like you can control everything with the keys I've got on the keyboard, or on the control panel. You can see some of the other games. There's, you probably can't read this, there's Zector, Star Castle, Space Rock, Space Fury, Ripoff, Omega Race, Neon Invasion Earth, Black Widow, and Arcadia. Just install another one really quick. Actually, there's no installing, you just extract the zip and run the executable. Oh, good grief. Alright, that is an audio issue. I believe there's some information in some of the text files and on his website about audio issues having to do with these being made originally for Windows XP. Huh. Lowered the audio and it seemed to correct. That's interesting. Okay. Arrows for options. Set options. Full screen. Redefine the keys. Left, right, fire, shield. Okay, never played this before. Wow. Okay, there you go. So again, it seems like everything works. This is a viable solution to have games to play. Whether I choose to do that or not, we'll see. Omega Race controls are very difficult. It is the acceleration in that game. The acceleration in that game is pretty brutal. The Asteroids one seems to work okay, and yeah, so there we go. Just an idea for what I could maybe do while I'm getting parts to restore this, if that's what I'm going to do. I think that might be what I am going to do, is just restore it to an Asteroids Deluxe and then sell it and hope to get my money back at this point, because I just feel guilty putting anything else in this cabinet. Yeah, I need to make a video of the progress I've done since the last video, but at this point I haven't published any of the videos I've made so far. Today I was going to do some maybe spray adhesive in the garage. You can see the blue tape here in the corner. The inside of the cabinet is vinyl covered, the entire thing, and so it's peeling back a little on both sides of the control panel and the upper part of the cabinet in the upper right corner, just out of range of the shot there, up there at the top. So I temporarily have some blue tape just kind of holding that to try and get it trained back into more of an upright position than curled over that it was. Now I've got some 3M spray adhesive. I bought an entire can of the 3M 90, which is the high strength. I have 3M 77 I use occasionally on things, and people are saying 90 is the one that's the really high strength that once it's glued it sticks pretty permanently, whereas things that I've done with 77, like printing a label for a CPS2 plastic cartridge, I've been able to pull those back off and then alcohol to clean the adhesive residue, but this other stuff's supposed to be stronger. So now I have an entire giant spray can of that stuff, which the 77 I've had for years, and it's still got maybe a quarter left. So I'm sure that the one I just bought will last me for possibly the rest of my life, which is okay. And then also there's a couple big pieces of wood in here, but this video I mainly wanted to make to show something you can do with an arcade cabinet that's non-destructive. None of this is affecting the cabinet in any way. I'm plugging into the original control panel harness with a Molex connector, and if I do this, I'll put some old PC in there. I'll be pulling power for the audio amp and the, like I said, the lit buttons from the PC, so it's nothing that's going to be done to the cabinet that would damage it in any way. The box that has the Arduino Pro Micro in it, that's got the 2 screw tabs, what I was thinking for that is the shelf that the monitor sits on and that the laptop is currently sitting on, I could screw it to the bottom of that shelf. So there'll be 2 screw holes in the bottom of that shelf, which, okay, yes, that's a modification, but no one's going to see. It's not going to matter. It's not going to have any effect on the structural rigidity of the cabinet or the piece of wood. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Just wanted to show a thought of something I could do with the cabinet while I wait to magically find a black and white Cabaret or cocktail monitor for a decent price, which who knows how long that could take.